So excited to be here in the space delivering another episode in our Think, Create, Initiate series. So today you've got the best of both worlds. Myself and Charlotte will be talking on this topic, which we feel is very prominent at this time, especially because there's been a lot of shifting and moving going on. And it's just a chance for us to just stop, take stock of where we are, and also start to think about how we're going to move forward successfully, progressively, so that we're moving the needle, even if it's 1% closer to that big, every single day, to that big dream, that big desire that we want to be celebrating at the end of this year. So we are going to be delving deep into the topic of business and babies, choosing calm over chaos. And Charlotte and I, we're going to be going quite real raw and, keeping it with our authentic selves, to which you all love, and you've been telling us how much you love that, and just sharing with you what goes on behind the scenes in our business, juggling family life. So what we know is that the problem is that most people, they go into new situations with the best intentions, which is brilliant. They've got these big goals, big desires, and they really want to make it work. But they don't realize sometimes starting out just how much you need to be inputting yourself into it. And you will have to make sacrifices. How big those sacrifices are entirely up to you and the current situation that you're entering into. But you also need to realize that just as with life, business can never really be 100% smooth. You've got to take the rough with the smooth. It's same with life. You're going to go through your seasons. You're going to go through those happy, joyous times, which is brilliant. And we're celebrating that with you all the way. But there's also going to be moments where you are challenged, where you're going to be pushed to what you feel is going to your limits. But I tell you, once you navigate through that, and you will navigate through that, and Charlotte and I were going to, share with you tips and values on how to do that, there's always going to be magic on the other side of that. But you need to be embracing the seasons, because the seasons are always going to be there. And with every season that you navigate through, there's going to be growth. There's going to be a new part of you or a new version of you that's going to be revealed. So are you ready and excited as much as Charlotte and I to continue and really get going on this topic? I think it's time.
So,
how are you feeling, Charlotte, my darling?
I'm so excited that we get to talk about this topic. Also, we get to do an episode together, which is quite rare these days. We must do it more. But I think just having the conversations with so many women coming in our community, in our world, who are juggling, and they just really want to understand how it can work for them. I think this episode is going to be super informative. Make sure you've got your notepads ready and you can take what works. Not everything that we say is going to work for you. And that's the whole thing with business. But take what works, what resonates, and try it. And also share with us your feedback afterwards. We'd love to know.
Yes. We always want to know about your biggest takeaways. And like you were saying, Charlotte, actually, there's been a lot of people that have been reaching out to myself and Charlotte, wanting to see more of us together, do more of these podcast trainings. Yeah, granted, you're loving the individual bits, but I know that vibe when Charlotte and I come together. So yeah, we're going to be bringing out more of that in the next coming episodes. So let's take it a step back. Let's give you for those of you especially that are new to myself and Charlotte's world, just give you a bit of more of a taster as to what's going on. So Charlotte and myself, we are mums.
Yeah.
I'll speak firstly about myself, and Charlotte, you can speak about your situation. So I am a first-time mum. I had my little angel in July of last year. I nearly forgot the month. So
I would be telling her.
Shock. It's mummy brain, baby brain, whatever they call it. So yes, Eliza Ray, and she is just the joy of my world. She really sparks me up and, just makes my life feel complete at the moment. So, having this business that Charlotte and I have and having a newborn, I have to say, getting into the groove of things in those early stages after giving birth, because I had to have an emergency C-section actually. So I took quite a long while to heal. And then after that, other health problems started to arise. So I was going through my season. I was experiencing a lot of anxiety. Things were coming up in my mind, thoughts and feelings that, I didn't even know that were there. How am I going to juggle this all? Can I really do this? But having Charlotte there always used to just revert me back to the point, it can be done. Charlotte's been doing it, way before I've had Eliza Ray. And I know Charlotte's going to share her own experience, but I just want you to know, if any of you are, newbie moms, even if you're, having more children at this time, by myself and Charlotte sharing our individual experiences, I just want you to know that it can be done. There's other people that are doing it. Granted, some things are going to shift in your life. Other priorities are going to come into play. You can try and strike that balance, but it's not always going to be there every single day, every single week, every single month of the year. It's dependent on you. But by hearing what Charlotte and I have, you can take bits from my experience and try it. Try and see if you can apply it to your life, integrate it, so you just feel at ease, because that's what we want you to feel at the end of this episode. So Charlotte, we would love to hear a bit more about yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's really nice that you get both dynamics, so listeners can, again, take what resonates. So for those of you that are new to our world and new to me, I have a 12-year-old daughter, and then Alicia, and I also have a 18-month-old daughter, Leia. So I've got that massive gap. So yes, I went back again after such. Because I know there are many women in this situation. I'm all time, and I think Grace and I, especially the two last ones, so Alea mine and Eliza Ray Grace's, they were both born like around the same time of year, a year apart, both in June and July. And what I want to share here is both
so close, actually. Sorry to interject. So close that sometimes we get their names mixed up.
Exactly. It's like a bubble. So what, I don't know whether this was not great timing on our path, but both years, so last year and the year before that, we had both been in the middle of a launch for our signature program. And I think we have hit the jackpot in being that we have each other as a partnership. But what I wanted to particularly share that is that you can be in launch, you can have a young baby, just as Grace did, and you can still move your business forward and serve and deliver to your clients. And all the clients in each of those rounds, they've done amazingly well. You'll see probably some of the testimonials we share. And I just want you to know that once you're committed and you're all into the process, you will figure it out. You will navigate. And again, even after I had Alea, my last one, after following her, I had some health problems, high blood pressure, had preeclampsia for the birth. So for the first couple of weeks as well, my health wasn't to the best, and I had other situations going on. But again, if you commit to working it out and figuring it out, and that's what you need as an entrepreneur, it's about being able to figure out problems as you go. You'll work it out. And we're going to talk about some of the finer details and tips that have helped us navigate, continue to grow. And we're so excited to go into this a bit deeper with you guys.
Yeah. But before we go in, I just wanted to add on to what you were saying, that I think having our children for us helped us to really take stock and navigate through any of the challenges that we were going through. For myself, especially, previous launch periods, I would always be in that frantic energy and it just wasn't serving me, thinking that I've got to do everything at once, everything right now, not really breaking it down. But having Eliza Ray, it helped me to prioritize and to, we'll go into this in a bit more detail, but to really start to pace myself, starting off with my priorities first. So it takes sometimes for some sort of changing moment in your life, just for you to really understand how you're going to start moving forward in the best way for you, rather than what you may be currently doing now, which just doesn't feel good, doesn't feel aligned. It's not really bringing you any results at the moment. So it's really time to, just to change that. And change can happen at any time. It can even happen right now. So really getting into this now, the first thing that we did was we were working with what we have. So specifically for me, talking about time. So now, newborn baby, and Charlotte's, it's definitely the same as well, having two children and a young baby as well. Time had changed for us in the sense that we really had to refocus being mums, spending time, the first few years of a child's life is the most formative years. So we didn't want to miss that. All those precious moments, the first gurgle, the first, tooth growing, the crawling, all those precious moments. So it's how are we going to navigate through the available pockets of time that we do have? And for me, my situation, in the middle of lockdown, my partner being at home more, I actually think it worked to my favor. It was a blessing, because he was able to look after Eliza Ray when I had my business commitments. And we did it in the form of that. We have a fridge calendar, and I was actually talking to Charlotte about this before, actually. The fridge calendar, and I have populated it with the timings that I'm working on my business, when I'm dedicated to myself. These are my office hours. So it's all there in black and white for anybody to see. So my partner, David, knows that, between, so and so 8 to 9, 1 to 2, whatever it is, I'm not going to be available, only if it's an emergency, because I've got my business commitments. So we've got that relationship now where we understand each other. He's got his bits on the calendar when he's been working on his venture as well. And that just helps to make things a bit more efficient and seamless as well. So it helps on that front. And I know, Charlotte, you've got your schedule as well.
Yeah, I'd just love to share it as well, but again, from a different perspective. So for those of you that maybe don't have a partner at home, what has really worked really well for me has been very specific with days. So for instance, Monday is my full day of delivery for clients, because you'll know that if you are requiring support from outside, you can't be in and out, hours and hours. Also, you have more things to be taken care of as single parents. So it's very important that you can dedicate time and focus to specific products or projects at the right time. So for me, it's like really carving out, having theme days. I know it's going to be Monday and Friday when I'm going to be doing delivery for clients, so that means it's easier for me to get childcare and support on those days. Again, we have workshops on the last day of the month as well, so that's really scheduled in. Going back to what Grace has got in her context, but just making it work for me. And it just means that then the other days I could be focused on key tasks, what I'm doing, and there's none of this extra. We have enough to deal with as parents as it is, with all our outside commitments, and running a business is no easy feat. So you want to make it easier on yourself and be able to conserve your energy. So get strategic, get that habit in place, and use the time you do have. And I think a lot of people misunderstand that you need tons and tons of hours, and I find actually the more hours people have, sometimes they are the less productive. So when you're working on a really lean amount of time, you go into that super focus with what you have and you get your return on investment. And I think just working from that perspective may be super useful for some of you listening.
Yes, that's exactly it, Charlotte. You hit the nail on the head. The less time you have, the more intentional you get, I find. And that's what really helped us to be hyper-focused on what we're doing. So if we knew we've got an hour, we're hyper-focused and we bang out that task in that hour. So yeah, that's a brilliant point you raised. And just coupled with that, what we spoke about, Charlotte alluded to it as well, is drafting in support as well. For myself, sometimes I have to call on my mum if both myself and David have commitments, and we can't readily give up those commitments, because they're quite important, quite urgent. So drafting in the help of my mum just to ease off that pressure as well. So if you've got somebody that can help, even if it's for a couple of hours, so that you can still be present with your commitments, then don't be afraid to ask, because you'll find that they'll be more than happy to do so, because they understand that you've got this dream, you've got this vision, and you do need to commit some time to making it work as well. So I just wanted to add that in.
And actually we're going into point number 2 about support as well, but even further afield from childcare, like for instance, we have support from our amazing VA who we've had for working with us for over a year now, and it's really helps us being able to balance so that we can have these times and support in terms of, we knew as Owner of Genius was never the accountant side, so we drafted and we got that in. When it's design work, that we make sure we get that support. So it's so super important you don't try to do this by yourself, guys.
Yes. It just takes longer. So just try and lighten your load. And if you're not wholly confident on a task, or you feel that you are drowning, feeling overwhelmed, and that's something that we don't want for any of you right now, then just look at, especially those of you that are maybe rocking a new business in a job. You know, Charlotte and I, we always say, look at your job as your angel investor. Just invest. You can get some really good quality VAs, which are easy on your purse, that can help lighten that load, do the admin, help you to be showing up whilst you're working on the bits that you need to be working on, which is bringing people into your world, wowing them, converting them into customers as well. So I definitely encourage you to look at how can you start to outsource some bits, even if it's some small tasks on a weekly basis. Then thirdly, we want to look at slowing down to speed up. So sometimes we want that instant gratification. You know, we want to do so many tasks all at once, and we just want to run with our business essentially. And you know, that's where we can sometimes get lost, or we're putting too much pressure on ourselves. So we really encourage you right now that the best way to work efficiently is just to slow things down, to go at a nice, steady, even pace, and then by being consistent, because it's really consistency. That's the golden thread. That's the thing that people think, oh my God, there's got to be a magic formula to all of this. But it's not. Once you master consistency, that's when success will really start to kick in. So if you're just consistently showing up every single day with a valued piece of content, letting people know, hey, you're out there, you're an authority in this particular area, and committing to that, you will start to see the momentum pick up. And it's with that it feels like the speed is picking up as well. The whole velocity momentum thing, you know, I don't quite know the formula for that, but that will start to kick in. And the results will become a byproduct of that. So slow down. Just, you know, really start to think about what's the task at hand? How can I break it down? So even if I'm hitting it at incrementally, I'm still biting into a large chunk of this piece of the pie, essentially. So really take stock of, you know, how you can start to slow down and really think about what's the task at hand and how I'm going to meet that, so that you're ticking your goals as you're going along.
Absolutely. And this really moves on to the next point. And this was a major turning point for me. And it was intentionally moving away from the fact of being addicted to stress. So how many of you find yourself in that repeat cycle? Things are frantic. You're like trying to catch your tail all the time. And that was me. And I think actually secretly I did used to wear that badge of honor. I was busy, I was stressed, I was tired. And that does not serve you. I think when we intentionally became aware, this was the game changer, and it meant that actually we could have launches that weren't super stressful because things were planned in advance. And many of you may not be aware, but sometimes our bodies, we do become addicted to that stress hormone, thinking something Grace and I used to say all the time, we work better under pressure. Actually, it was something we was just feeding our minds just to keep with that loop, when really, if you're prepared, you have that spaciousness, you can actually calibrate at a higher level because you've got things prepared, because things can come to you in that creative moment instead of being stressed and on the go all the time. So really being consciously aware that you don't need to be in that cycle. It doesn't need to be part of your per se, just because you're running a business, because you've got kids, maybe you're working as well. You don't have to be super stressed. If you can get organized, intentionally look at how you can take away that stress, relax your nervous system, then you will be able to enjoy what you're doing so much more. What happens when we enjoy, we just operate at a much better level as well. So really wanted to share that as a past recovering, you know, stress addict, I secretly think I was. It doesn't need to be that way at all.
Yeah. And just, you know, moving on from that point, actually, I think it times quite well, is the whole point that business doesn't have to be hard. I know it feels sometimes that in order to have these great accomplishments, you've got to be working hard. But Once I found that the best way that I operate is to work smart, that was a game changer for me, absolute game changer. So now Charlotte and myself, we're all about stripping it back and keeping it simple. All those complex things that are going on in your head right now, that you need to do this, you need to create this super advanced funnel, you need to have this website that's got this gadget, whatever it is right now, I just want you to just release that, release all that franticness that is going on in your mind at the moment when you just think about those things that you feel you need to do. It's not the case. The best businesses run on very simple systems and processes. That's the only way for you to actually understand that every single point of your customer journey, how the experience can be really heightened from them. So as soon as they interact with your brand, right through to the point where they've purchased, and even beyond that, they felt that experience, and it hasn't felt very confusing, very frantic, very much like you're having to be responsive all the time. Because I remember in the beginning, I felt I was really responsive in the business. You know, a situation had to arise for me to think, oh my God, to create this video, I need to do this. But now Charlotte and I were at a place whereby we stripped it back, we've kept it simple, very simple funnels, come into our world through our lead magnet, which is, you know, one of our free guides, consume a bit of value about us, come into our Facebook group, hear some more value from us, you know, and we're only launching one offer at a time. So you're not confused, you know, what's going on? I thought I saw, or is it, you know, a confused mind always walks away, as Charlotte and myself always say. One single offer, one transformation result. The power, I really need to stress the power of one is so, you know, the magnitude of that is on a next level. Once you just think about that one person that you want to attract into your life at any one time, that one offer, that one this, your life becomes that much simpler, that even it's even more happier and joyful as well. So keep it simple. Keep your funnel simple. Have a lead magnet. Get people onto your email list. Send emails once a week. You don't need to be doing everything at once. Pace yourself. All of the things right now, all of those great ideas, and I know so many of you are sitting on so many ideas that you want to package into one. Start off with one simple thing, one simple task as well, and just move yourself progressively through that. The rest can be parked, can be banked, can come into play later. I mean, you know, you're not alone there. Charlotte and I, we're full of all these ideas. You know, we want to do everything right now. But we've looked at our year in the beginning of, actually last December, at the tail end of December, we looked at this year and we started to think about what we want to be doing in every single quarter. And it's simple. It makes sense. We're working in advance to what's going on. So we're never having to preempt things or having to be responsive, creating things out of the blue. You know, you're really working to your own timeline in this. So it's very important to keep that timeline simple. Charlotte, do you want to add anything else on that point?
No, I just think, again, you really sort of hammered home on it, but it is really important, that one, so magical. Sometimes it seems boring, it seems unsexy, and entrepreneurs by default super creative. We have all the ideas, but it is just, you know, when you're starting your business, your main focus just needs to be getting clients in, proving your offer, tweaking it so it can be excellent. And you can only do that if you're focused. When you're doing too many things, it's just split energy, so nothing gets the best of you. And also, again, you are that one person, you are juggling multiple things. You have to remember that you are the center of your business, so reserve your energy, take care of you where you can, and you do that by working smart. And yeah, I've just been super excited to share what we've talked about today, our conversation, so I know it's going to help so many actually really understand how does it work in practicality. Those maybe still not going full in their business, thinking, if I do, well, this is going to go wrong. It doesn't have to. It's your business, your timeline. Just be in it for the long haul, and everything will work out.
It's exactly that. It's exactly that. So yes, we're really excited for all of you. If you've had some breakthroughs, some really big shifts, we would love you to share that with us. And we also want to say that the doors are now open for our signature Think, Create, Initiate Mastermind. Now, this mastermind runs 3 times a year, and in it, we take 12 amazing, driven women who want to turn that beautiful vision that's sitting in your head right now, into a profitable reality, so that they can start to go out there confidently, head up high, knowing their one offer, believing in that one offer, and attracting their first and future clients. And in the previous round, Charlotte and I, oh my gosh, we've worked with so many amazing women, and the amount of shifts, the breakthroughs, the wins upon wins stacking up, clients, wait lists as long as I can't even, one lady, when she launched her product, straight away she had 40 people that booked in connection calls with her to find out more about this particular offer, and that was in a really condensed period of time, using the small pockets of time. She was very intentionally focused, and that happened. So there's so many things right now that you're thinking about that you would love, all those desires, and that could be your reality. So we invite you, if you're thinking right now, now's the time I need to make that change, because if I don't change, nothing will change. That's just the simple equation for it. So if you're feeling right now that you want to live out that vision in your head in this year, you want to make it happen, you want to start moving towards that big desire, and for your business to become your legacy, then I invite you to book in a call with myself and Charlotte, so that we can explore if we're a right fit for each other, and also to look at how your business can fit around your current lifestyle, to move you to a place where you're living out that future you with that future lifestyle that you really want to have. And if you're tuning in as well and the doors have closed, don't worry, because there is a wait list, okay? So we invite you to just fill in the application link and just join our wait list as well. So we're really excited about this next round. So we're going to leave it there, and we hope again that you've enjoyed today's training, and we look forward to coming back, myself and Charlotte, side by side, delivering more fire episodes. All right then, take care.
Bye.